Let's take a look at the next progression in our backstroke body positioning right side just pop series. So here we've explored the different body positionings with being very popped, and we've used some different pieces of equipment. We've used a cup, we've used some fins, and now your athlete is ready to kind of combine everything together and use no pieces of equipment. So let's go over the key items and what we look for in this drill and how it will help your backstrokers overall. So here, let's take a first look at the kick. So we want to look for the feet here that we're pointing toes and having extension in the ankle. Great job right there. Here, same thing. We can kind of see the toes and pointing of the ankle right there. It's perfect in what we want to see. Now remember, in this drill, what we want to see is just with any flutter kick that we're doing, we really want to see just what we would kind of consider that natural bend in the knee. So when the kick is occurring here, what we would want to see is just a little bit below the body and then bringing the feet back up to the surface. And what we overall want to see is what we got right here. And that's going to be some turbulence in the water. We call that turbulence white water, boiling water, thunder kick. It's all the same thing. So as we said, we want that natural knee bend. We don't want anything excessive. Excessive would be just where like there is over a 90-degree flexion bend here in the knee. That means then just the foot's going to travel up and down. It's going to move fast, but you're not really going to be going anywhere. Same thing here if we're on our, just as if we're on our stomach, the knee kind of any sort of 90-degree angle bend right here, or the knees are kind of tucked into the conduit area. Here, then just the feet would be moving up and down, maybe making some contact with the surface, but we would be mostly moving air as we're moving through the water. And that means that we're not really going to be kicking very, very, very strong. Now, here, we've got a good amount of the foot being here under the body. So on the down kick portion, when our athletes are kicking up, we want them to think about there's a ball at the surface and we've got to make contact with that ball with the foot. And that's actually a forceful movement. We want to really make sure that we're bringing everything up here to the surface so that way we can have a really, really, really strong kick here. And our athlete's doing a great job of that right there. And just kind of starting out, we've got really great movement here. We would really recommend that there is a moderate to strong kick with this drill, especially when we're not having the fins to kick. It just helps us move through the water a lot easier. Arms here are going to be at the side, and what we just want to kind of concentrate on is just being just popped. We like seeing those shoulders and hips just kind of come out of the water as we're moving and traveling through the water here. Some swaying will be maybe slightly expected, but we really want to see that be minimized when we're in this progression of the drill and have the athlete really kind of hold. So here, just that amount of movement right there would be really no more than we would be looking for. Head positioning here is going to be just again key. We kind of want to think about keeping that head here halfway under, halfway over as we're moving through the water. So no real more than that. Chin here can be tucked in a little bit. The eyes can kind of be looking slightly diagonal as we're moving through the water. So somewhere kind of between here 90 and probably about right here was more what we would say. So we would want to be somewhere inside of this area looking through. Just remember, every athlete's going to be able to be a little bit different. We don't necessarily need to be flat. A little bit of a varge when we're doing this drill will be also, considered okay. And here our athlete's doing a great job of moving through the water here. It's like he's a very, very, very natural backstroker. As we're doing a transition here to underwater, so just kind of taking a look. Now remember, the feet have to be level to being under the body. We don't want to go too deep, otherwise we get too much knee flexion here. And so kind of see that foot right here, how deep it is, and how then we're kind of having to kick it up a little bit below the body as we're moving through. Probably be, yeah, that's probably about right here is going to be good. I would probably suggest no deeper than that. Otherwise, we got a lot of turbulence there, which is what we really like to see when we're doing this drill. And then as we continue to progress, here we're going to just on a return view look for those same items. Head here is nice and steady, no real movement in the water line. And then we've got a good strong kick here. I want to watch here. So that right foot, okay, it looked like it was up a little bit higher than it actually was. Just make sure when those feet are coming out, we're not excessively kicking them or adding more air to our air time to our kick than we need to. We look for the hips and shoulders here just to be popped. Here on our return view, we got a little bit flatter than we would like to see. So just make sure again that you're reminding your athletes to keep those hips and shoulders just kind of just peeking over the water. They want to be low, but not so low where we kind of return to that flat position. So here we can kind of see we're just pop. So probably I would like to even see a little bit more than what we, there we go. All right there, see that little shift here, a little bit flat, and then we got that opposite side then down a little bit more. So right there is perfect. And we've got, again, good head positioning here as we're traveling through the water. And then just, again, force those feet to get up to the surface as we're kicking. Overall here, if you found some great value out of this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe.